This video right here is an overview of the COVID-19 project. This video is for anyone who is absent while we're doing the project in class. For the in-class assignment, I had different stations set up with data that you'll need to complete the project. What I'm going to do is walk you through each part and give you the data you need to complete each station. So you can print this off of Schoology and follow along with this video. So for station 1, in class I had a map set up with data for each city. What you can do is just copy this information down on your paper because you won't be able to use that data that I had up in class. So just pause this right now and copy this down on page 1. Then for station 2, we looked at the data, the death tolls of each state. So students had to choose one state. I'm going to choose Florida for you. Here is the Florida data. And then you'll have to calculate the percentage of people that died from COVID-19 in Florida. So write this down on your paper and then plug this into the calculator. 15,530 divided by 738,741 times 100, and that'll give you the death rate in our state from COVID. So then for the second part, I set it up for you here. You're going to take this number, divide it by the bottom number to find the percent of the total population that died from COVID-19. And then this part down here, just cross it off. That was an in-class part of the project. Okay, then station 3, again, just pause it if you need more time for this as we go through. We found the volume of the actual coronavirus. Here it says the diameter of COVID-19 is 80 nanometers. That's a very small unit. We're going to plug that into our volume equation. So volume equals 4/3 times pi, which is 3.14. The radius, if the diameter is 80, then the radius would be 40 nanometers. We're going to cube that as part of the equation. So if we were to plug that in the calculator, you would cube the 40 to get 64,000, so 4/3 times 3.14 times 64,000 comes out to a volume of 267,946.67 nanometers cubed. So write that down on your paper along with the work. Then we had a ball in class that we said was a model of the coronavirus. The ball had a diameter of 14 centimeters. If we were to change that into nanometers, we would need to take 14 and multiply it by 1 million to get 14 million nanometers. Okay, and now we're going to find the volume of the ball in nanometers. So volume equals 4/3, pi is 3.14, the radius cubed. So half of this would be the radius, so 7 million cubed. Now, when I cube the 7 million, I get a number that's 3.43 times 10 to the 20th power. And we're going to keep it in that format, actually. That's called scientific notation. What that means is you could move the decimal place over 20 times to get the actual number there. When you multiply these three numbers, you will get a volume of 1.44 times 10 to the 21st power nanometers cubed. That's the volume of our model, the ball. Now to find out how much bigger the ball is than the actual COVID-19, we'd have to divide these two numbers. So from here, I took this number, divided it by this number to get 5.36 times 10 to the 15th times bigger than the actual COVID-19. Okay, now moving on to station 4. Station 4, we looked at data for the entire population of the U.S. What percent of our population was infected with COVID-19? So I have data here that you can copy down onto your paper. And then you're going to take this data and calculate right here. So positive COVID cases in the US was 7,881,300 divided by the total population, which is 331 million. And then once you divide that, multiply that by 100, and you will get the percent of the population that has caught COVID-19. And then total deaths. So far, there has been 215,500 people that have died from COVID-19. The percentage, we're going to put that over the number of people that have tested positive. Then you can multiply that by 100, and that is our death rate. How many people, what percentage of people that catch COVID-19 die from the virus? Okay, so make sure to do those calculations and fill in your percent here. Okay, so now we are going to compare that information to information from other countries around the world. So you can actually pause this here and write down the data. In class I had them look it up online, but since you're trying to do this online, I went ahead and wrote it in for you. Okay, so after you copy this all down, you can calculate what percent of each country has caught the virus, and then compare the U.S. to other countries. And then here we look at the death rates. How well did the hospitals in that country respond to COVID-19, and how well were they able to care for the citizens of their country? So you'll see that the death rates and the percent positive rate are kind of all over the map. Every country is very different. What you're going to do is then analyze how well did U.S. Respond to the virus compared to other countries. What is our percent positive rate compared to other countries? What is our death rate compared to other countries? Okay, so you will complete all of these blanks just by plugging in the numbers into a calculator, and I have the directions right here. Okay, Station 5. So for Station 5, we looked at unemployment. Some people were laid off to COVID-19, and we have the situation here where a person that works for a Hilton hotel was laid off. You can read it more in detail, but what we're going to do is calculate how much she made in unemployment while she was off. So it says she was laid off on April 3rd, and then she was rehired again on August 1st. We're going to write an equation for how much she made, so the total equals, it says here in April she received the $1,200 stimulus payment from the federal government. Then she applied for state unemployment and was earning $275 a week. And then she also made sure she applied for the federal unemployment at $600 a week. If you were to look at a calendar, which we did in class, the amount of time she was off was 17 weeks. So we are going to plug 17 in for the W here. So total equals 1,200 plus 275 times 17 plus 600 times 17 weeks. And then when you calculate this out, you get $16,075 is what she got while she was unemployed. Okay, so what if she didn't get laid off? On the next part, we're going to look at how much she would have made if she didn't get laid off from her job. So it says she worked at a Hilton hotel. She made $13.74 an hour. She would work 40 hours a week. Write an equation to show how much she would make in the 17 weeks she was laid off. So if she didn't get laid off, she would have been making $13.74 an hour for 40 hours a week. So this would give you the amount she makes each week, and then we're going to times it by the number of weeks. So total equals, this comes out to, so $13.74 times 40. She makes $549.6 a week times 17 weeks. Oh, I hit the wrong number. And she would have made $9,343.20. Okay, so now we need to figure out how much more she made on unemployment. So $16,075 minus the $9,343.20 that she would have made. And we get $6,731.80 is how much she made that was on top, which is more than what she would have made if she was working full-time for that time. Okay, so what you're going to do is make sure this entire packet is filled out, and then upload it to Schoology just like we do with our notes or our workbook pages. I have opened up the assignment that this is attached to where you printed this out. Just take pictures of your work in a PDF format and upload it there. Bye, guys.